everybody, Guru Jerry Valido back again with Cinco Estilos Urban Arnis. I'm here tonight with one of my senior students, Eric, and tonight we're going to talk about a way of training that you might want to consider if you're not already doing it. It's a more practical method, a more realistic method, and it will actually help students get into the proper mindset of what may happen in a real street situation. Okay, so I see a lot of people training like this, where the feeder will feed whatever angle, and I'll do my technique, right? He's standing there like a good solid feeder, giving me my targets, and I know exactly where I'm going to go. Maybe he picks another angle, he feeds me another angle, okay? And then I come in and I do my technique again, all right? Really nice, being a very cooperative feeder. Now, I can understand on a very fundamental level, if you're a brand new student, yes, this is something that you probably want to do in how you're teaching your students. However, very quickly, in my opinion, after they learn the fundamentals of any technique, they should be shown a more realistic response, something that may actually happen in the street, okay? So in Cinco Estilos, once a student learns a technique and has it committed, we immediately move on to a more realistic response, right? So this time when Eric feeds, he's going to react the way somebody probably may react in a real situation, which will force me to have to figure out what to do next. Okay, so what happened there? When he fed, we're going to presume a few things. We're going to presume that my blade is sharp, and we're going to presume that if I entered properly, that I sliced right into his forearm, okay? I don't know about you, but if somebody sliced into my forearm with a sharpened piece of steel, I'm not going to leave my arm there. I'm going to pull it back. And actually what would really happen is something like this. Let's switch sides, okay? So when I feed him, this is the reaction that you actually might see. So I'm here, I go to feed him. Or somebody kicked you in the groin, your hands went down to the pain.
Straight right from Morris.
So if he actually cut me, my other hand will probably come here, and I'm probably going to start moving away from this danger, okay? So he now has to figure out a way to cover the distance, all right? So let's do it again. I'll give him another angle. So whatever angle, he doesn't know what I'm going to feed him. So I'm here. Okay? We are going to presume that he got a good cut onto my limb, and that I am injured and I'm bleeding, and that pain has registered in my head. So now his task is to figure out, all right, if the distance changes, how do I follow up? That's why we do follow-ups in all our techniques, okay? So it stands to reason that, the old adage, you'll fight the way you train, will come into play. If he's a good feeder and he stays there, and this is all I ever train with, in my brain, in my way of movement, I'm going to think that that's what's going to happen in the street. When in reality, if he feeds, I have to know how to follow up, close that distance, and continue my attack. Another thing to take into consideration, don't you think that in a real life altercation with an opponent, that the attacker will be fighting just as hard, if not harder? You have to take into account that they're not going to be a cooperative opponent. Okay, so he throws his attack again. Okay, so I may have cut him. Maybe the adrenaline is flowing so much that he doesn't realize he's been cut. And now we're in this kind of situation, all right? So it's just another thing to take into consideration. Your opponent will not be cooperative. So train for the opponent that reacts to the injury that you've inflicted. Train for the opponent that's going to be fighting back. Food for thought. If it helps you in your training, great. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.